Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It has been quite some time, and there's really two main factors to blame for that. One, Overwatch came out, which I've been playing a lot of with a lot of friends, and it was a blast. And then two, we're also obviously kind of getting to the point here where it's not that much else really to do in the current game. But I will try to keep going at least till day 49, which is the maximum difficulty of the Horde. And at this point I'll probably try to show off some more advanced things, like the stuff we started for the compound-esque thing outside. I'm trying to figure out where the hell I was. We had fuel in one of these, right? We had fuel here, okay. That's not quite what I meant to do. Plenty of gas queued up there. We managed to hit level 100 and nearly 131. Cool. Let's work a little bit on our compound for today and the extra stuff we were planning on doing outside. What am I lacking here, if anything? Iron and clay, realistically speaking. I haven't played this game in a while, and I'm trying to get back into the right modus operandi. We are going to want some rebar ramp frames. Probably don't need that many. Let's go with 100 to start and see how that winds up going. Like I think I said, or somewhat implied, I apologize in advance for the reorientation necessary here. Mini bike components. I think we usually put those in weapons, right? Sounds like a screamer out there, I'm guessing. Yep. We are going to turn these off to give us some peace temporarily. shale back. Or we could realistically just queue it all up in the fire, frankly, but meh. I'm not too concerned. Okay. Yes, we are going to take out every single one of these spikes today to give us the room we need. Sorry for a little hiccup there, had to take a phone call. How many skill points do I have? 61? I was actually tempted to put points into like the heavy armor thing. See if it does anything. Okay, so I think we're going to try going 2 out and leaving a gap of 2 for us to maneuver in. Might also, you could do larger, but for the single player I think this will probably be okay. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to set it up so we have this layout. That right there. I want to go 2 out. And then up top, we do this. With the net effect being that we can look through this and loot stuff that's down there. That's the goal of this layout. We're going to need some more wood, which we put down here. How I want to handle the corners, I'm not quite sure yet, frankly. I have not really thought about that. An important thing to keep in mind is that because we now have this gap that we can loot through, means that certain things are fair game from the other direction as well. A cop zombie exploding, the explosion will go straight through that gap. It's not a get out of jail free card at all. I also experiment with the barbed wire fence a little bit and was a lot more impressed with it than I expected to be. So that's something we might fiddle around a bit more with as well. In terms of slowing down the zombies as they ran towards you, making it easier to pick them off with a shot, or just taking more damage from the spikes, it seemed, because they're on them longer. I guess we're all supposed to get an airdrop as well, and shortly, aren't we? The smart thing to do would be to actually go and get the bike ready, just to chase it down faster, to not risk losing it. Four short, how interesting. Let us see what we get in our wonderful supply package. See if we get anything decent. Not really going to complain about some of that. Or that. Sorry. Wrap it down. Wait, what? That was weird. But okay. What's our range on the sniper? 114, not so great. Thought I saw a deer over there, but maybe not. I do have a deer over there, though. I just passed up a bird's nest, but whatever. We can get over the hill. We can do it. We did it. Huzzah! Well, that actually wasn't even intentional, but... We already know that, right, Dana? Ammo, supplies, AK-47 stuff goes here. So we still need quite a bit more for that. Sniper rifle parts we don't have anything else of so far. Alrighty then. Back to construction work. See if I can actually aim properly. Apparently not. Nope. I think my mouse sensitivity is too high, like I can't really get a proper sniper shot. They're moving it. And it might be too far away at that point. I probably should decrease my mouse sensitivity. Let's try moving it down to 0.4 at a minimum. Let's see if that goes any better. I don't know. I might keep it on 0.5 for now. I'm not really sniping like that too often. We'll see. I'm fiddling around with it and Overwatch controls and what the appropriate amount is and all that kind of stuff. It's an interesting question, right? Because you have to move the mouse farther, but you could find your control when you're trying to pull off a more difficult shot at long distance like that. Not difficult as in the target's moving, but difficult as in, like, I can't get it on the right pixel. That kind of difficult. You know, the Counter-Strike pros are kind of like, dude, did you seriously take 8 shots to kill that zombie or something? Yep, I did. I'm honestly really not sure how I want to handle this. Maybe just this and basically say the zombies should go to one side or the other. I'll probably just do that. If people know a better way, by all means let me know. Oh, that is right. Well, right for what I'm trying to do, probably. There's a better way to do it. So obviously this way I can't actually loot at the corners. I'm giving that up right now. Looks like 100 was just enough. So at a minimum we're coming further out here. Suppose I should have been making more tailoring stuff during the day here, so I've been wasting my crafting queue in that sense. And now I'm thinking of a kind of interesting question. I'm extending the iron bars out, yeah, but then the question is, do I have it go out including this row? So that way it's the same level? I'm kind of tempted to say yes, that way that it's just level the entire way around. These are the ones I cannot hit from the inside, so I'm getting the corners first. And I suppose, yeah, whatever. That'll still funnel them to either side on the ground floor, hopefully. I shouldn't have made those blocks, I should have made them the RAM frames, but then I'd have to get more, and ultimately I'm not really sure it's going to matter, so whatever. we are going to need, isn't it? It almost makes me tempted to build, like, a concrete ceiling over clay and then dig it at night. Sorry. We're going to need a lot of the iron bars. But we can only make 60, huh? That's definitely going to need to change. I'll throw in 150 there, I guess. This could potentially attract a screamer. We'll see what manages to happen. We can fight her off if so. So we have 40 of the cheap spikes. And 44 of the actual expensive spikes. We do have some ladders. I think metal ladder is the best ladder available. It takes forged iron, okay. So it looks like we might have a 1-to-1 ratio. So if we assume we're going to need at least, let's say we put 2 per side, like here or something at least, it means we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We will actually need 5. Times 8 is 40. Then we want to put these down. And yes, right now I'm just throwing them down without, except for that was obviously a mistake, without worrying about where I'm going to actually have the gaps to come through, because I can take those out in what, like 5 or 10 seconds, and I don't want to mess around right now. It's easier just to kill it and replace. I guess we're going to need a bunch of steel for this, aren't we? Just trying to make sure we have the lip to stop spider zombies from crawling up and saying hello. Also, I have never actually done this outer wall thing before, so I apologize in advance if I'm messing this up in some really stupid way. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants. And as you've seen, it's entirely not necessary. It's just a little advanced thing I saw. In terms of the way the bottom two rows work, the best way to have the top rows work, well, that's another question entirely, and a more difficult one to answer. As you can see right now, we have a clear view of all of this. We have like a path down. Maybe we're not going to add 8. Maybe that's too many gaps to have. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll also just put like another block on each of those as a way to make sure it's clear. Hey, this is, you know, a ladder. Maybe something, you know, like this or whatever. How well does this work? Can I get through there? How about there? No. How about here? No. How about here? So maybe that'll work a little bit better. That way I'm not saying, oh, hey, I'm backing up, and whoops, I just fell down. That looks like that might be decent. Obviously, you have a lot of flexibility here, exactly how you do it. I think I accidentally was trying to repair that. It's definitely not what I meant to do. I seem to recall us setting up some concrete blocks. Yes, perfect. Though, I'm wondering now if I might be able to actually do this part with steel. That's 10,000 and it instantly is there instead of having to wait for it to dry. That would probably actually work better. So right now we have our blade weapons. How did that go up without us actually breaking it? Maybe we have the wrong idea here. So it's just at 15. That seems to clearly be going up. That's clearly going up even without actually breaking the block. Is it just literally number of swings? Well, we'll see if we get a massive bump once we hit, once we break this block. So we're just above the check mark. And we did indeed get a massive bump. Okay then, that works. This gripping action has you all on the seat of your pants. You're like, damn, look at that knife work. Look at that. I'm hacking that concrete to pieces. Whoa, brilliant. How much steel do I have? I think I have a decent chunk stockpiled, don't I? Okay, yeah, that ought to do it. So we basically just need to have like one block here kept for use in that regard. I'll just say that one for now. Hammer from 200 does just under that, so that actually works out really well. Though that is because the hammer's nearly broken, in all fairness. So tomorrow we'll actually want to get up some outer defenses set up again, possibly extend the concrete floor out more, upgrade the concrete to steel. Alright, we have a busy day. This is less than thrilling, but we're actually already... That was not intended. I hit one too many times there because I got distracted talking. I'm going to say we're nearly all the way to the next stage at like 17 or whatever, so not the worst thing in the world. There's 17. And so it brings up another interesting question. Would this help raise gun skill more quickly if we finished off like a steel block with a gunshot? I guess we can do some science here. So rifles, right now 20. We are not even to the check, we're basically there, so let's just say we do... And we definitely gained a little bit of skill there, okay. Down to 82. Okay, so we are essentially above the bottom crit. And that just got us about a fifth of a rifle level. Okay then. And that's with rifles at 20 already. a little past the T. Yeah, how about that? Let's finish these off before we return to the steel whittling. Well, we got construction tool skill from that at least. Back in a second. Let's see. Man, no knife skill yet? What are we at? Oh, we have 19. Okay. That got us to 19. With any luck, this will get us to 20 or pretty close. So we are just past the check mark. And that only got us to about there, didn't it? So I have to do that twice more, roughly, right? And that should get us up to 20 knife skill, which allows us to take the next knife guy perk. Pretty sure we actually did get the crossbow schematic in this game, finally, right? Just haven't actually used it yet, though I promised I would. That's 20. Perfect. Okay. We'll do one more go, then run upstairs. Fill up on food and water. As I think I said at the start of this video, I do want to try to at least go to day 49 with this. Just because that is the quote-unquote end of the game normally. Obviously I'm doing well enough right now that I would consider this game sort of won, but I do want to try to show off the different weapon types and styles, and hopefully people can take a look at those and decide what they like. Obviously, as mentioned, I'm partial to the Magnum just due to bullet efficiency, but there's arguments to be made for a number of other weapons. Let's also make a new claw hammer and a steel fire axe, since those are getting pretty worn down. Why those aren't steel, I'm not quite sure. Got plenty of steel, we can use to upgrade the outside. You can hear the zombies outside. And we will resume in the morning.